Hi there, welcome back to the 5pm episode 8. This one is the best one yet, I promise you. This is all about personal operating systems. Everyone's talking about it. I want to make this one practical for you so you can get up and running with yours just in a handful of minutes after you watch all of this. So I've been using Claude as a thinking partner for about 8 months, and the system is just a bunch of text files on my computer, notes, transcripts, projects, to-dos, etc. And what Claude has been doing for me is basically helping me dance with that text in a way that really has been helping me be a lot more effective in my role here as field CPO at Pendo. But the more information I was adding into my system, the more unwieldy it becomes. And that's the challenge you typically have with personal knowledge management systems. It was reactive, I had to ask, but recently there has been a significant unlock with Claude. They're killing it at the moment, called Hooks. Do not worry, this is not technical. Hooks are a Claude Code feature that basically triggers automations to happen on certain events that happen within a chat that you're having with Claude. So now my system has changed fundamentally. Now my system is proactive. It silently captures learnings during my conversations with Claude. It checks Claude Code's release notes daily without me having to do anything. And it comes to me with suggestions saying, hey, Dave, this new capability could improve your morning routine. Would you like me to implement it? It observes how we work together. It improves itself every chat. It gets smarter than the last. There's a lot of great content out there right now showing people's Claude Code setups, their personal AI chief of staff. But what's been missing for me is something that you can actually use yourself quite quickly, something that's not technical. And today I want to fix that for you. I'm going to be giving you a starter kit. You don't need to be technical, like I say. You just clone a repo. I know I said you don't need to be technical, but it'll be very easy. I'll show you how to do this. And just after 5 minutes of onboarding that this repo has in place, you will be up and running and off to the races. The system will ask you your role. Are you a product manager? Are you a chief marketing officer? Are you a CEO? Do you work in customer success? Whatever one you pick of the 31 roles that are in there, the system will then unfurl its scaffolding right for your role. And all that self-learning capability I've just described, all baked in for you. Let's get going. I'm really, really excited about this one. There's a concept called compound engineering from Dan Schipper at Every, and it's about coding with AI agents, and it took the web by storm over Christmas. In traditional software, every feature makes the next one harder. More complexity, more maintenance. Schipper flipped this. Every feature makes the next one easier. How? By creating a learning loop. Bugs, insights, better approaches all get documented and fed back into the agents. The code base gets more complex, but the AI's knowledge of it grows faster. My luck was realizing this pattern isn't just for code. It could apply to my PKM system. And so here's what I built. The AI has instructions to watch for learning opportunities during our conversations. A mistake is made, a preference is expressed, a pattern in how I work. It captures these silently in the background through Claude Hooks to markdown files. And so next sessions, those learnings get loaded in automatically. So day 1, the AI is generic, and day 30, it knows exactly how I operate. And it's not just memory, the whole system improves. The commands, the automations, the workflows, all of it is compounding. And that's what this repo gives you. So 4 jobs this system handles. We start each day focused. We have one command, the daily plan command. It checks our calendar, opens tasks, what's overdue. It gives us 3 priorities. Heavy meeting day, it automatically drops them to 2. The system will not let us overcommit. Next up, we never miss a commitment. Promises made in meetings get extracted automatically, fed into the right person page and company page so we can track what we owe and what's owed to us. 3 days old, everything gets flagged. Walk into every meeting prepared. Next up, before any call, what we discussed the last time, open items, what they care about. After the call, their page again, updates automatically. And MCP, this is where it shines. The tools feed into the AI. MCP connects existing tools such as our calendar, meeting transcripts from Granola, and for me, there's also a Pendo MCP. So customer usage data flows in before the calls, adoption dropping, I see it straight away. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's show you how to get all of this set up in tickety-boo fashion. Okay, so this is the Dex repo, and what it has down here, essentially what a repo is on GitHub, is essentially details on how the whole thing hangs together, and with all the code down here as well. And so what you would do is you go in here to the code area, click on copy, and then you head on over to cursor, which I'll show you in a second. And so when you get to this repo, by the way, down here, you'll see everything, okay? So why we built this whole repo, why I think it's important, what you get from it, how the system improves itself, the jobs that it does for you, and all the different skills that you have and how to use them. So be sure you go through all of this, and it will take you through how the whole thing hangs together, and then we'll get you up and running nicely for when you start building out your PKM system. Cool. Let's head on over now to Cursor. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you how to get this set up in Cursor. It's fairly self-explanatory from the README file, but let me just quickly take you through visually how the whole thing works together. Okay, we're going to clone the repo. We're going to copy and paste, or we're going to paste, I should say, the URL we took in from the repo page. And I'm going to create a folder, and then it's going to pull everything down locally from that repo onto my machine. I'm now going to open up that folder, and just to show you what it's pulled down, if you go to the cog in the top right-hand corner, go to sidebar, enable, you'll see everything that's been pulled down, right? So it's going to have a Claude MD file. The Claude MD file is the kind of the brains of every time you go back and forth and talk to Claude, this file gets invoked and thrown into the context, right? So I'll come back to that in a second because we're going to show you how this Claude MD file gets updated through the onboarding that we're about to go through and do. So to start the onboarding, we're going to go in and just try to set up. And now it's going to kick off. So this is a command that we put into Claude for the onboarding. And if you ever, by the way, want to have a look at any of the commands and understand how they all work, all you need to do is go into Claude and just ask it, say, look, can you just tell me how this whole thing works in simple terms? And that gives you enough knowledge to then come up with ideas on how to improve it and gives you some idea generally just on how commands are working so that you can then create other ones for your system. So when you first do this, it probably takes about 20 seconds for it to kind of kick into gear, and then you're off to the races. Okay, so it's asking me for my name. I'm going to say Dave. It's now going to ask me what's my role. So the system basically has a whole bunch of kind of templates for each of these roles that you see here, all 30 of them, that depending on which one you select, that context then will be fed in to the system, and then the Claude MD file will build out its own scaffolding, the right folder structure that's relevant to a role that you will be choosing here. So I'm going to say number 22, I'm a CPO. And next up, what it'll ask you then is what kind of company are you working in? So I'm going to say 100 to 1,000 people. And then from there, it's now going to ask me, what projects do I have in flight right now? So I'm going to say, I want to launch a new mobile app and take that to market. I want to then work with my exec team on the Series D fundraising. And I also want to come up with an AI fluency career ladder for my organization. What you can see here is, even though I obviously spoke too quickly and it says career letter, it knew exactly what I was looking to do here. Now it's asking me if I've got additional context about me and what I do. I can throw in my LinkedIn profile if I want to do that here. In the interest of time, I'll say just no. Again, the more context you give it about who you are and the projects you're working on, the better. Now it's asking me if I'm using Granola for transcription because, again, the onboarding is set up in a way to look for the cache that Granola creates locally and then connects that down to the Granola MCP that's baked into the system. Now it's saying, do I want to have the meetings processed manually or automatic? I'm working on the assumption that no one's going to have an API key, so we go manual. If you do manual, then Claude within Cursor, Opus 4.5 will then, as new content comes through, when you run the command for process meetings that you see here, then it will use Opus 4.5 within your Cursor subscription to process everything. If you have an API key, then do automatic. It will then instruct you on how to pull the API key down and give it into the system. And then all of that then will happen automatically in the background for you. Whether you're doing manual or automatic, all the right information will flow through to the relevant company page, person page, and so on. All the tasks, all extracted, all there for you then to work with. So I'm just going to go for one in the interest of time. And now it's updating everything. It's creating an updated Claude MD file. It's looking at what a CPO would typically do and creating the structure around all of that for me now in terms of my file structure. It's making all those different folders. And that's it. When you see accept, just click on that. And now it's updating that Claude MD file that I showed you earlier. And that's it. That easy. So it's created my role. It's created additional role-specific folders. And now if I want to get going, if Granola is connected, process the meetings, bring that context in. I might want to say, okay, for my mobile app launch in active projects, let's go ahead and create it. Hey, can you just walk me through setting up the mobile launch for my active projects folder? And then it's going to do that and guide me through all of that. And it's that easy. So just ask it to ask you for the context it needs for all your projects, all your work. And then any notes you have, just throw it in here and you're all then up and running. It's that easy. So here's what to do. Clone the repo, link in the show notes, run through the onboarding that I just took you through, and then create some projects. And then the day after, run the daily plan command first thing in your day. By week 2 of daily practice, you will be in full flow. You'll have all the skills to keep building. There's a great companion article that goes along with this episode, again, link in the show notes, and that explains how everything hangs together from a first principles point of view. Here's what I believe. The people who figure this out, this personal knowledge management system and the self-learning system, will have a genuine edge, not incremental, transformational. Getting more done with less stress, walking into every meeting prepared, having the AI as a thinking partner, having a system that gets smarter about how you work every single day. That's more impact and more joy in your work. This is the year of the personal operating system, and it's time now to build yours. Many thanks for joining me on episode 8 of the Vibe PM. Please spread the vibes, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Registrations for Pandemonium 2026 are now open, and you really don't want to miss this one, folks. We're bringing together the most inspiring minds in product and leadership who will challenge your thinking on everything. I would like to personally offer you exclusive 30% discount when you use the code TheVibePM30. That's TheVibePM, all lowercase, one word, and the numbers 30. Get your discounted ticket at pendo.io/pandemonium. See you there.